then again, into the composition of what that FM has drafted for themselves so far, not really too scared of it.
Cannon even with Aatrox off the table, wanting to respect Evi's prowess on the champion. Has shown it twice already, specifically into Aatrox, but yeah, looks pretty good.
We saw it against Wonder. Got a few solo kills there, so Evie was very happy on that champion, of course, and lots of discussion going through. Of course, you will have to blind pick a champion here with Maokai being a flex on 3 Worlds, and it is going to be the Thresh, a classic pairing, together with Aphelios off past as well.
Yeah, again, wanting to make sure to remove some of the better ways to protect Aphelios, who is very powerful when he can sit there and shoot you, but does suffer from a lack of mobility, apart from really Gale Force, which has been pretty common, but isn't always the choice that Aphelios plays.
消えたらライ様、オフ、優勝してブ X スキン頼む。いいだ、あれ、アムムコリップ、
サポートアムムか。
ライジヌソ、お返せ、お返せ、お返せ。わらわら、
ブラム
おかえり、かわよ、おかえり、です。ライジン版、おかえり、おかえり、おかえり。聞こえた、エビ何やるんだろ。ボンさん寒そう。おかえり、おかえり、おかえり。音も戻ってきた。おかえり、俺らの耳直った。おかえり、むいね。完全復活。おかえり、おかえり、おかえり、おかえり、おかえり、おかえり、おかえり。
レオナ、攻撃的だね。
ブラウムラックス。
トップレーン後出しだ。でもこの感じだとオーンだけどな、これ。
怖いな。おかえり。じゃあリスター。
おー、先出しフィードだ。
デフェンスリスペクト。A4 性トラブルのようですが現在復帰しました。サイラス先取り強いな。
な
マルファイトこいこいこい。
まあカミルはなしじゃない、構成的には。
普通にな取った。わら。なあ。アムムにレオナ派カウンターっぽいのかな。なあだ。
本当に練習してたこと。
わらわら。たー。ロー。煽ってきた。ウルゴッチ。エビゴットきた。お、ロー。あ、エビゴット。
リディアか。
なるほど。本当
AD のが良かったかな、構成的には、感じ的には。
わらわら、わらわら、リセ、いつもの、あ、お、あ、わらわら、あ、お、あ、なんちゃって、リリア入んね、あね、エビ君のリリア、アップこい、リリアを前いけるのか、アップこいな、このマッチ
まあでも、エビが一番実品にあるチャンピオンをピックしたんだろうな、これは。さすがにラストピックにトップレーンってことは、これが一番いいっつってディリア出てきてるから。まあまあまあまあ。
悪くないな。頼むぞユタボン。ピックはちょっと不安だな。正直ドフムのが強そうだけど、構成むずそう。構成面白いけど、そんな終わってる感じはなさそうだけどもどうなんだろう。本配信発表中です。頼むぞボンさん。マオカイレオナに絡みつかれそう。もう負けられないからな。カリー UR 取られるの嫌だったのかな。頼むぞエビ。エビを信じよう。エビの信じるリリアを信じろ。あやや、クラップ。全然悪く。
I've seen a lot of level 1s in my time, let me tell you.
Yeah, I've seen a few, but unfortunately my memory is not always the best in that regard. Now, Yaharong has actually opted in for the first strike since he's playing into the Silas, so possibilities for you to get a bit more gold in there. Could have gone for Futures Market as well, in terms of just finding your items power spike so quickly because you go first strike, but not going to be the case this time around, and otherwise than that, looks pretty standard. Conqueror and Lilia is always what you go for when you're playing it up in that top side, looking for the extended team fights, in and out, prancing around, you know how it goes.
Yep, doesn't need the phase rush. Happy to try and oppress the lane 1v1, so Likai is going to try and keep it under wraps. With the fleet, best of luck though, Evie is quite the man and always has fun picks this game, no exception. Yutapon though, back on the old Kai'Sa. See how it does here in the 2v2 early on as the teams face up.
So far, Wako is not really using the Calibrum to get these extra auto attacks in on Yutapon, and that's allowing the DFM bot lane to actually get pushed. So, of course, hitting level 2 before Leona, super happy about it.
Glacial action there out of hop, getting in aggressive. Takes a bit too much damage on the other end, but not too perturbed.
Yeah, so you trade HP from the AD carry and exchange for the support instead. Now, Beyond is about to hit level 2 when the 2 melee minions falls down here. You can actually see it's a big battle in between them both. They both want to have it. Go for potential engage immediately. And Jungler, at least from the side of Steel, is pathing down towards that bot side, with Husha pathing up towards that top side instead. Both the solo laners of DFM are quite far forward, so there is a potential for
Yaharon ただこれ、まあ、フィア残ってる。大丈夫でしょう。
kicking the other two out. Doesn't have to commit the flash, so nice little escape there for Yaharong.
This is going to give the Steel so much intel. He already has the red buff. He has a bot lane who kind of has a little bit of a push. Yaharong is still around the area. You're playing Trungle, the strongest level 3 between isolated junglers. He could look to get cheeky here with some counter jungling. He's not in there. Observers, reveal him!
There he is! Steel shows himself to Husha, gets the ward down, but nothing left to play for.
Well, red buff still
ちょっと嫌な気持ちにさせましたね。
Husha, so that is gonna be an opportunity for him to get in and clean that up. So nothing stolen away, but still had a window, but I think the circumstances around him didn't facilitate it with Minji getting the push, and the same for the bot lane beyond.
Kino walking up means he walks away. Steel, though, at least trying to poke in there and get what info he can. Again, we are starting to see, I think, a bit more adaptation around Maokai. We see more and more Maokai games. He's starting to become a fixture of almost every game. So definitely do want to try and contend it when you can, because the tree 1v1 is fine. But early game especially not all that hot. I don't think we've seen top lane Maokai yet, by the way.
We have.
We have?
Under,
Perfect!
On day one.
Bless my pick'ems!
So yeah,
that was my only investment.
I put Seraphine in. I was like, oh, surely this will be played with a center lane, so that should be 3 in the mid lane, in the AD carry position, and with a center, but so far it's not happened.
There's still hope.
ポンさん、カイタのパフォーマンスいいよね。
We're only just getting started.
Alrighty, Husha now doing a bit of Baden himself. Mostly just for vision though. Gets the sapling down. That's going to be annoying for Steel. Actually, Husha really getting good info here. Now pops the Scry's Bloom. Sees not on the Krugs. He's going to try and steal them, I guess, is the next thing. I guess no.
Just going for the intel instead, but you can still look up towards the top side. Likai very close to hitting that mech, and there he goes.
Heavy going to be okay. Spots the enemy jungle and says, yep, nothing you're doing here. Whack him.
Give him a little slap with the staff.
Spins around, no damage. Husha is going to help him push out here. It should be resetting the top wave in short order. So very quiet first 5 minutes here, but ooh, I take it all back. Ivy just straight in the face of the enemy team. Oh, the clock barely.
The sapling. Not enough damage at this point, and yeah, Ebby almost going down to a boulder there. The extra movement speed, of course.
いらんことしたね、今。
But that could have been very, very deadly with a big wave pushing in. He could have lost a lot of experience there.
One of the things about Maokai that's so great, you just click the button.
There's so many things about Maokai that's so great.
It's true.
Now, on the bot side, Beyond actually looking to get aggressive, but it's a big wave they would have to be fighting in with, so surely they'd lose an extended fight, and they realize that, they back away, but I was actually going to go back to the fact that the game is slow is actually quite good for the side of Beyond, because they are a team where they never really
今のベイトなんだけど、
of the game in their early game.
相手に入らせて無理してきたらっていうのだったんだけど、タンクリリアのなんかもうビルドがある程度揃った動きをしてるから早かったね。
The same for Likai, of course, playing that Nara in the top side. So I think as Beyond, you're quite happy about the way the thing's going so far.
Yeah, Aphelios, Maokai, Silas all happy to scale up and just kind of vibe. Hop finding himself here in the mid lane, but maybe covering a potential counter. There is a lot of people here, actually. Unicorn also chilling in behind, not level 6.
Oh, but you can see it here. I actually think it's a good read because they know that the roam might come through. Spotted on a sweeper right now. Amumu coming around.
両方見れてる。
No fear goes in, find the bandage shots.
人数多い、人数多い、人数多い。
Tino the target level 3.
人数多い、人数多い、人数多い。
Brute force for a first blood, but then it focus me. Find her. Husha though is going to turn it back around onto Yaharong because Minji Sas is dishing out the deeps. Still going to go down as well and make.
カイさん落とせるか？いや、落とせない。
Kill for the tree.
いや、アムのウルト強え。
But even better response coming through from Beyond to pick up the kills here. So great stuff for our representative from PCS.
Nicely done for Beyond Gaming. Yaharong TPing in on the Vex. As we check him on the top side, so far, Evie, even with some decent isolation in the lane, hasn't really been able to squeeze out too much of a lead just yet. We'll have to see how the Lily kind of pick kind of plays out as the lane goes on, but let's watch this one again, because like you said, first part looked real nice.
They spot each other in the sweep, but we of
いや、
course
まあいいエンゲージではあったと思う。
going into it. So Hab already had the information. They look for it immediately, and with the Yuta upon run and Yaharong actually having the level 6 to go for the fight, they look for it immediately.
レオナ倒した後、ヤハロン、あーまあ、ちょっと厳しいな、厳しいな。殴った後のイメージ的にサイラスのアムマル避けるイメージがあれば、まあ避けれたね。
Actually, my first ever Silas game. I walked down the bot lane at level 6, stole the enemy Amumu support's ultimate, and did almost exactly that. In the bottom lane. It was great.
I mean, yeah, Amumu is also one of those champs. I used to coach a team, and one of the things that was meta back then was
ずるいね。
we played Ashe into Sylas once and never did it again due to the fact that the AP scalings on the Ashe ultimate. That was not fun to play again. So when Sylas was first released, I mean, that was the likes of Alistar. So there's so many things where this champion leaves its mark in terms of not only what you have drafted for yourself, but in terms of course what the enemy has drafted too.
Alright, well, Husha trying to grow to be the biggest tree this game. 2-0-1, already worth a little bit of extra gold at the start of it, but more importantly than that, strong enough to start this Herald up for Beyond Gaming. It has been the prized objective. People, again, have been delaying Dragons quite a lot. So happy to get this Herald, and very cleanly too. No contest here for Detonation Focus Me. Can't really force anything, so just going to have to give it away.
Yes, and there's not even any cross map coming through. No Drakes is taking. It's just the same usual farming. Ebby had his lane pushed in, so he's going to go make a response.
まあとりあえず6までかな。
And I get
Whoa.
frustrated when I see the Mumu coming through here. Nope, they are most certainly looking for a fight.
6か。死ぬのかこれ。すごいな。まずくねまずくねポンさん。おお。あれ取られた。フラッシュあるフラッシュあるフラッシュある。いや9外れた。よく11になったな。あれスティール死んあれ後打ちしたのどっちこれ。
Here comes the tree.
The tree out there, ulti already used, very nice setup there, and DFM just too far forward, Steel goes down.
You know how it goes, you pick the tree, your game is free, and so far Husham showing why that is 2-0. And 2 on the Maokai, of course, now picking up his components. Leading forward with the Bambi Cinder, and it's looking good. You get priority now from the bot side. You can set up the Drake afterwards, and of course you pick up the kills that you need.
Gonna get this crab as well. That dragon that you mentioned likely to follow. Husha just vibing here with the rest of the squad. I mean, Udapon getting a kill is pretty nice down there, but Beyond Gaming definitely winning out in these early exchanges.
Yeah, and let's have a look at how it started again, because it is just getting aggressive while you have the Danish gun available for Wacko down here. Red and white, of course. And good predict on the side step from Kino, just setting it all up. And no level 6 on the Amumu just yet, so there's no counter response. We talked about how he can be a good disengager. This time around he's not...
おなんだ何があった 2対2で勝ってる。
Absolutely dead. Just walks straight into the turret, gives it away.
It's not the curse of the Sat Mummy, it's the revenge of the Sat Mummy as Harv immediately strikes back on that bot side. Has ventured down in the mid lane.
Gonna keep on going here. Actually, the dragon we did think was gonna go to BYG is now Detonation Focus Me with that great bit of counterplay out of Harv, who hex flashes himself over into the dragon pit.
Likai does not have to teleport either, so no contest is going to be have here. And with Minji in the mid lane, yeah, he's just going to be forced to clearing ways against Yaharon. Great start from DFM. They strike back immediately in a game that was almost running away from them, with Herald as well being in the inventory of Beyond.
Yeah, so hasn't been popped yet. We'll keep an eye there on Husha and where...
急進化はしたかなもう回さ。
Was almost 1,000 gold ahead for Beyond Gaming the last time I checked. Now about 500 between the two. So Beyond feeling alright. Again, still have kills in good places between the Maokai and the Sylas, but Evie's starting to get a bit more active. Back to the top lane he goes. Hop obviously being 6 makes a huge difference as far as his effectiveness goes as a champion. And definitely making it known there in the bottom side. So we'll call it basically even here with Detonation Focus Me getting the first Drake, but to your point, definitely going to be a slower game, even though Beyond might be generally happy with that, as Likai is going to trade an ulti there away from Evie, who's maybe going to prance down the top lane, but...
いやトップレーンかなり有利だなこうやって見ると。
Yeah, you know, 3/4 of that Rift Herald has dissipated now. You have to make a play soon with that. So far, they're looking in the mid lane. He does have flash. They want to look.
Still ulti Aharon in there, but the Sylas going to follow up. The Everfrost, perfect timing on the finish of the mid deck, and that's going to be a kill for Sylas. But still, can he make it happen? The tree going to be cut down a little bit by the ulti out of Troll, but no follow-up kill as the Herald gets dropped mid.
A great response by Minji. He did not connect with the chains, but he did have that ultimate stolen away
マオ
from
カ
him.
イっ
So
ていうか
he
これ
heals
は
off the Sat Magic too. Minji, can you get any
やっ
plays
ぱ
in
ベ
here?
ックスがなんで出ないのかはすごいわかるな。
But at least you
ダメー
just
ジ
saw
足りて
that
ね
away from the mid lane turret.
Still, the biggest tree is on the table. It's going to be a little tankier than the very large AP tree we saw yesterday, but Husha's dream
I rated.
of growing
Phase tree,
a sapling
phase tree, but
to Yggdrasil is still on the table.
ooh, good one. Top side, pushed in, resets, coming through. Second Rift Herald, 2 minutes. But so far, not much to get in terms of the objectives. It is just going to be Can we look for any invades on any jungle camps if we're really looking for it? So far, it doesn't really look like anyone's going to tempt that fate. And we're still around the normal lane states these 12 minutes into the game.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I have not paid as much attention as one possibly could to how lane Lilia currently goes. But I am looking at Evi's items right now, and I'm trying to figure out what the first one's going to be.
I think he's looking for a Frozen Heart initially here, and then you just have that. It's cheap item, you're looking in to get some more ability haste, and that's really what matters. You want to keep the Qs going all the time. We've seen Lilias with
ドラゴンファイトの方がいいかな、FM は。
keep the damage going over time,
ボット
but
レーン
we've
下がって
also
るから。
seen it with the Riftmaker to just become an unkillable off tank.
Makes sense. Definitely has this interesting, like, mage fighter.
Yeah, exactly.
Situation.
It's like a bruiser, but make it mage.
Yeah, and Bambi, as Evi's prancing down here against the Meganar.
But where's Bambi's mom? Out against some of the other animals we had in the esports scene.
Almost a spoiler alert. Don't look it up, kids.
やったー、カイサ。カイサがベックス、どっちでもいいな。これは。トップレーンはかなり勝ってる。
Around, no ambition, so if they overforce it, they could get punished here.
Yeah, it's kind of who goes in first. It is hard to kick it off. Curse the Might not unleashed just yet. Ulti, my goodness, man! Infernum looking like the pre-nerf version. Udapon forced to ulti barely away. Flashes as well, but that might not be enough safety because here comes Minji. Not going to complete the wraparound though. Decides one's enough.
Yeah,
まずいね。
2 kills there, but the big one was that Harp was not allowed to do, well, a single ability there. He just got CC locked completely by the Leona. Utapon forced to use the cleanse as well, and they just straight up lose out on that fight. You can push in the Rift, or push in the bot lane now, move up towards the Rift Hell that's spawning in 10 seconds, and you'll know that Utapon doesn't have the, well, summoner spells to really have a good fight against all the CCs that Beyond has in that composition.
Yeah, Beyond Gaming looking really good here in this game. Again, pretty important win for them to get here, trying to break 500 as far as their opening games have gone 1-1. Bottom lane Tao is going to push that gold lead up to 2,500 and give Waco some extra gold, which always feels nice in the Aphelios. Just a big difference in effectiveness in the early game so far. Steel, you know, at least try and get something back with this Rift Herald.
So the late resets coming through from Beyond, they decided to pick up the bot lane turret and of course get some gold through that. It does allow DFM to set up for the Rift Herald first. You can see Beyond, they're still around the vicinity trying to look for a fight if they can get it, and Rift Herald's not dead yet.
Now it's dead, but can he get out safely? Harp still has ulti, by the way. Didn't use it in the last exchange as noted. Does have Merc Treads now as well, so might find a few more windows to press the buttons, but Nature Focus me. Just take the Herald and run away. No need to pick a fight for them.
Yeah, they can push in the mid lane. Drake is up in 20 seconds, so realistically speaking, you want to stay for one more wave before you really move down there. You need someone
いやー、AT よりベックスに入れたいけどな、こうなってくると、金は。AOE ダメージが欲しい。
Well, Rapid at the moment is the fact that they can use the Rift Hell to get pressure, while on Beyond they have to use their prowess, well, the gold lead that they currently have to get that pressure.
Both top laners do have teleport, so can have everyone join it down here for the dragon fight if teams want to contest for it. Does look like they do, but Shrine already picked up the Fahusha, has the speed, has the vision that can't be swept away, and cross-burst onto the dragon. Long TP.
偉い、これトップレーン行くの偉い。落とせるかな。
They're done. Dragon over.
でもこれはいい、ナイストライ。
But I respect it for DFM,
普通
because
に。
if you have to call away from a play, you have to make a cross map elsewhere. They do it here. Lee Kaido, good presence of mind, and now
Harp though with the Okidoki here in mid lane. Kano going to be the target taken out by Udapon. TP coming in for Beyond. Is there a counterplay here? 5v4 will be the team fight, but Waco unleashing already with the chakrams that can't quite find it, and one is going to be enough for
いや、
detonation.
やめよう、やめよう、やめよう。やめよう。
they're not going to be able to get
いい
another
ね。
fight
ナ
here.
イストラ
They
イ。
pick up one kill. They get back to the lane
わ
stage.
すわすわす。
Still pushing in, but has waves to
レ
connect.
ポート
The
使わ
mid
せ
lane
て
is
トップも
under
プッシュできて
pressure
るし。
from Beyond. Can they keep this mid lane turret alive?
Herald summon topside actually. Aharong maybe.
いやー、アムムのウルト怖えな。
As a result. But again, Detonation Focus be doing a decent job trading. They were behind early, a couple thousand gold, just trying to make sure that they can keep the game kind of afloat. And maybe just lean on
トップ
Udapon.
ミッ
It
ド
is
タワ
the
ートレード
shining
か。
light right now on this team. 3-1
で、
on
2
the Kai
タックル。まあいいんじゃない
can take over on this champion.
Yeah, the problem for him right now is just the fact that team fights are so difficult to navigate, right? You're playing into Leona, you're playing into a Na, you're playing into a Maokai. It's not going to be fun for you. That one cleanse is not going to be enough. And because of that, you're so reliant of having every summoner spell up before you really commit to a big fight. Because if you don't, you will just lose your AD carry, and with that, your main source of damage from the backline there.
Cricket is going to be Rift Maker, as you noted for Evie. Has the little stick.
タイラスよりマオカイのシャットダウン欲しい、マジで。
Chilling.
It is just chilling.
Yeah. weird how it's just, you know, one item.
サイラスフォーカスするの怖い。ストップウォッチが多分そろそろ打てるから、ストップウォッチ使った集団戦すると、ガチでぐっちゃぐちゃになる可能性ある。うわ、魔界通過か。
But sir, it doesn't build into anything else. Doesn't matter. Put it in the game.
Has to commit to Riftmaker. Still there, grabbing the blue buff. Was kind of the only one around to really take it, so not too bad there. As Hub is in enemy territory, maybe looking for a straggler. Husha is
今 DP ないから。
Two items done, very tricky to pin down. So tanky at this stage on the Maokai.
Oh, steal.
Ooh,
Stealing away the red buff.
Hey, look at that. Hey, boss came out of the way.
And there you have it. That's the heist. The DFM heist coming through. They get the red buff. They're losing quite a bit right now, but let it be known that DFM has secured a red buff.
I mean, only 1,300 gold now. Like, they have definitely cut down the lead that Beyond Gaming were kind of building, and hasn't gotten out of control just yet. Obviously, Beyond will still feel happy, but Dead Ninja Focus Me, they're just chilling. Like, they know they have to freeze the game a little bit. Look for their opportunities. Be pretty careful with the picks they find, because that's kind of a lot of what their comp does right now. Wait for Udapon to maybe scale up and be so much of a problem that even all of this CC can't deal with him.
And it might look like not much is happening, but they're actually just handshaking on the map right now, as they should be. You can see that on the bot side.
これ取られるオブジェクトがない。相手にフリー指示フリー指示いいじゃんいいよマクロはいいとりあえずなんか操作はあんましだけどマクロはいい
DFM, they just get turret for free here, and on the other side of the map, Beyond doesn't really get much, still clearing waves.
Yeah, definitely a slower game, which we kind of did expect, and you said Beyond wouldn't mind too much. I think that's still the case, as Minji.
The double sleep combo.
Pretty powerful, that's true. Silas does get access to the ability to sleep, but will not connect onto Evie, who's just been kind of farming. I'm very curious to see what Lilia does in the later stages of the game. I thought maybe there was some specific lane counterpicking happening where Evie could try and abuse the 1v1, but that hasn't happened. Whether it's supposed to or not, I don't know. But Evie certainly will still be effective. He knows his way around weird bruises.
I don't blame you for that one, but yeah, Evie likes to have his own counter picks ready and just picks in general to try and take charge on. But Lilia is still a champion that functions very well into the mid to late game. Once you really get your force of nature as well, you're just so fast. You run around, you pick up so much healing through all the spell ramp that you have in your kit. So if you don't blow it up immediately and you allow
ドラファイトはありリリアがそれなりに強い今でまだアフェがそこまで強くないから今いい感じかなフォーカスフロントからだねこれフロントから行ってアムムのウルトマジ大事バックラインにもしベックスがウルトを当てれるんだったら全然カイサーとか行っちゃっていい。
I'll give you that one. That's the similarity I'll give you. Now the similarity between these two teams is that they most likely want to fight for the Drake that's spawning in 20 seconds. And as of right now, most of that vision actually favors Beyond. You can see it with the blue wards lit across the river and into the enemy jungle. And now DFM.
まあベックスのこの重傷本当に弱いと思うけど、まあまあまあ。
So does Likai if they would choose to contest this objective.
We haven't gotten the S tier Hextech Rift this time around. Had a lot of those in the first 2 days, but Infernal, pretty good soul, pretty sweet Rift as both teams are scoring up. But no tower here in mid. But Detonation Focus Me means getting into the area is going to be tricky. Evie though showing up early, trying to see if he can get the party started. About to gate crash right through the front. There's the lock up there. Evie also rooted into the ulti. Everfrost following up. There's just so much CC. Can barely flash over the wall. And now Hop going back in, but again, already burnt the ulti. Leone getting Udapon, but he cleanses out of there. Such on a rampage, getting one kill.
バックライン殺したバックライン殺したいい感じいい感じいい感じいい感じいい感じいい感じただカイサがストップウォッチカイサがいやいったいいねちゃんとバックラインからいった
seized in mode to engage with the Amumu. They pick the members apart, and Evie, he just prances and dances around that entire team fight. It's beautiful.
Watch it again. They don't need the dragon. They're running the Baron, but again, Evie just looks so dead here.
I hardly even care about what happens on the rest
いやー、俺ね、アフェに行ったのが本当に良かったね。動作も良かった。でもね、若干運が良かったとこもまあある。これは。なんか結構ずれたんよな。あ、でもすごい良かった。
with plenty more gold to take, and of course this dragon on the menu as well.
Exactly, and now that Riftmaker also completed, so the amount of spell van that Ebby is going to be able to deal out in these fights or gain for himself rather.
マオカイの Q でサイラスの E ずれて、で、あれで E 当たってたら、まあポンさん死んでバロンができなくなった。だけど生きてるからバロンできて。かなり有利になった。
We're looking to make that number quite a bit bigger by the end of the duration. I have about 2 minutes left to split push with, which Evie is currently doing in the bottom half of the rift. Also, the other thing that I realized kind of looking at the comp, because again, I was like, oh, it's a lane counter. Like, it's a weird Evie champion. He's picking it in R. Of course he's doing something. We'll hold that though, because Harp's already in there. Who's just the problem? Now it's Yaharon.
そっちか、ヤハロン。本当かヤハロンヤハロン合ってるヤハロン合ってる勝ってないエビ。あ、やりすぎた。いやー、セカンドタワー欲しいぞ。セカンドタワーマジで欲しい。本当に合ってるかこれ。ヤハロンがミスったかな。本当はフロントから行くべきだったんだけど、レオナに当たっちゃったな。ファイト自体は良かった。ヤハロンがミスった。
So it's going to be a little tough to crack down this tower, but they have a little under a minute left to try and make it happen. So I think they'll stay, but looks like with a reset from Harp, perhaps Udapon's just going to push in this wave.
まあでも十分な育ち具合ではあるから、まあ。ハープが入った、マオカイだっけレオナだっけマオカイか。マオカイにまあマオカイは狙ってるんだろうなこれ。狙ったらレオナに当たっちゃって、そしたら飛ばなきゃいいんだけど、飛んじゃうのがポンさんマジうまいな。ポンさん手がいい。
It's like triple melee into this Lilia. It's so annoying to try and hunt down the person dancing around your front line.
You have to CC, but as soon as the CC no longer is there, she's so fast and she'll be running away and she'll be spell vamping up. Now, reason why I wanted to say that I still like the position DFM has in this game is that you almost have a tier 2 too much that's broken.
700ゴールドシャットダウンか。
Evie is pretty much going to get the first move from bot lane every single time. He can move up towards the top side. They can move up towards the top side themselves, collapsing on a wave that Yaharong is pushing in. Beyond should have nothing on the map to gain for themselves. The only thing they can look for is position.
でもこれ多分リリアだいぶ育ってる。MR も十分あるし、でサイラスビルドクソ弱いから、サイラスはもう沈んだこれ。まあアウムのウルト強いんだねこれ。ってなると。ヤハロン、ストップウォッチ欲しくない？持ってたのかな？売ったんだろうな、きっと。あと5分するとナーもかなり強くなる。
Pretty much perfect map control.
And you can see it. The game is just slowly but surely falling apart right now from beyond. They're not too sure how they actually stabilize because truth be told, they can't win. The lane matchup is just individual against each other, 3 versus 3. You see it, Yaharong picking up a turret on the top side.
すごいね、本当に。落ち着くのは実況解説もかも。
Or then you have another Infernal Drake to play for. After that, Baron is available and on the cards too. So DFM, they're just putting themselves in a prime position to take away this game.
Yeah, we'll see how Beyond react to the next fight. You pretty much must fight with this upcoming Infernal Dragon. So Beyond are going to be there in a minute's time as the team that will reset.
うん、ロッケゴールドはだいぶ開いてる、これ。で、カイサ4コアか。カイサめちゃめちゃ強いから。いいね、ストップウォッチできたじゃん。これで多分勝つ。このファイトはさすがに勝てる。さっきと同じ戦い方すれば、さっきと同じように勝てるから、さっきと同じようにってか、その、ラプター前のファイトの仕方でも勝てるから、これでいける。
But as it stands right now, once again, Beyond, you just can't push back, right?
Yeah, big bottom lane is obviously still being pushed up by Evie, so he has all this.
いやー、エビそれいらないんじゃない？多分ドラゴン前の睨み合いの方が強いよ、これ。タワー前より。ドラゴン前のがいいよ。ドラゴン前のがいいですよ。オッケーオッケーオッケーオッケー。戻ろう。
And you'll see the Detonation Focus me have just so much control over this next objective they're lining up, and they start it straight away.
Yeah, the big one as well is that you haven't hit the level 16 power spike just yet from the side of Minji. The same game
よし、バロン行こう。
too, but it's just really nice having on the Silas when you're stealing away the likes of an Amumu ultimate to really make the difference. So finding that, potentially also the Void Staff to have that extra damage through some of the resistance could be crucial. But now, that was the best sleeping.
なんで
I liked it. Also, I like the play from Evie. Just like threatening, right? Steals maybe in the area. Maybe Evie feels like if Aphelios is isolated, he can at least poke around and harass the enemy.
ああ、カイサケアしたのか。でもカイサの W 結構変なとこから飛んできたから、ウルトナイスそうだったけど、まあそうか。確かにカイサケアするの、これはそうか。特殊するからな、これ。おカイサ行く？行った、カイサ行った。わあ。おこれ行くのこれいいぞ、これいいぞ、これいいぞ、これいいぞ。最強、最強、最強。
is officially out of grasp for Beyond here. It would take a massive mistake for DFM if they were going to throw this one away. Japanese representatives fighting back, looking to take charge in the group.
Yeah, a couple stumbles earlier on, but now 2 and 1. Now
いやー、カイサガチで強いこれ。
2 and 2. I cannot read numbers. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I got it right the first time, and then we looked, you know, it doesn't matter. Detonation Focus, we looking good.
You know, I'm a dropout. I suck at math. Don't worry about it.
Me also.
Yeah, but I think as well, from DFM, I think that had plagued them sometimes, especially when they have compositions like this that go forward.
いやー、カイサこれは消えそうだな。この試合勝ったとてって感じ。パフォーマンスマジでいい、カイサの。
less exciting watching when it's not going fast. They're doing the correct things because they just have pushing lanes everywhere and they dictate whatever they want.
Yeah, they understand their comp, they understand the map state, and they're doing very nicely with it all.
カイササモンスペ全部あるし、ストップウォッチあるから、まあ、相手が無理してきてもなんとかなるはず。
Evie is going to finally finish off the tower he started with a long time ago. Hop is just a frontline menace. He does not care what champions are in front of him. He is going to be threatening the enemy. And we've seen it. Like, Udapon can join from the next game.
Oh, yeah.
With that Kaiser ult.
Almost definitely 2 games away, potentially, if he wants to. And now playing on 2 lanes, Baron buffed up down towards the bottom side. 2 cannons to play for. Going to be difficult to clear these away. Not too long range. Coming through on the side of Beyond. 5 members, actually, from DFM down here. Could potentially have 1 in the mid lane just to create some more pressure. This is easy to deal with. They need to broaden the pressure.
いや、ハープ柔らけ。前から前から。アフェのレンジがいいな、これ。おお、マジ？おお、すげえ、アフェ。これ落とすのか。あ、でも、落とした、1人。いや、これアフェ、2人落とした。マジか。いや、これね、バックラインまで行く必要があるね。パワー指示弱え。まあまあ大丈夫大丈夫。これね、まだ大丈夫。カイサ何も使ってなくて、で、インファソウルファイトになるから、そしたらかなりいい感じになるから、これはまだ大丈夫。本当は全電プッシュがいいんだよね。でも、不安になって全員来ちゃったね。 リリアはトッププッシュするべきだし、ウルトで寄れるハープじゃねえ、ヤハロンはミッドをプッシュした方がよかった。で、3連プッシュしたらかなりパワーを使えたんだけど、全員寄ってきちゃったね。
Going down 5 members in the bot side was definitely not the right play to make there with Baron.
No, and for a game that has been relatively mistake-free, at least major mistake-free from Detonation Focus Me, that is a big loss to take. Lose all of your
でも、インファストールファイトは大有利 FM。これもスティールだけケアすれば、まず来ないと思う。GA これ。
Not quite 4 items, but if left unchecked.
So what do we have to play around with here? We get Yutapong with Cleanse and Flash still up and available, ultimate there too. Minji's missing his Flash. The same can be said for Likai. Well, on the other side, Epi still has his available, so there's definitely points of attack to go for here that would make the fight a bit more difficult, but Beyond is in a position where they can actually contest. No inhibitors has fallen, so they're out of the map without being punished.
Yeah, Hop actually getting marked there by Silas. Was trying to look for a flank, but Minji gonna do a good job clearing out a lot of the vision, trying to set up for this next objective. Dragon has now spawned, but Detonation Focus Me currently in mid, trying to get themselves some prior around this next objective. They know this soul is basically game if they get it.
Hop on the flank here.
Ooh, Hop still going for a win all the way around, but again, maybe a little too far. Gets his ulti stolen.
ウルト切れてない。カイサがめっちゃ奥まで行って、カイサベイトしたがアフェのウルト。ミンジ落としきった。W?
So close, Yutapon showing up there in that team fight as well, finally coming through. Epi as well with a massive sleep.
エンドかな。エンドっぽい。エンドできそうではある。さすがにこれ多分入らない。怪しいか。まあソウルでもどうだこれ終われそう。終われないか。終われないな。
To get this dragon, but they've got, I think, enough DPS and of course their jungle to secure this objective.
Yeah, I think you just have to forfeit the Infernal, so right here, if you are Beyond, it feels horrible, but that's the reward to Destination Focus Me after winning that fight in the red side jungle. And this
will
matters worse for Beyond.
Again, Yutapon had all the sums up, 11, 2, and 10 on this Kai'Sa full build. GA got popped as well in that fight. Let's see how it went down.
It looks bad initially. It looks like
ハープまたウルト打ってなかったような気がしたんだけど。ウルトスタンフラッシュ9。ウルト打ってないねやっぱり。打ってるこれ。打ってるけどレオナでしか当たってない。
Leandri's coming through from Yaharong, and Wacko once again not in a position to really just deal with Yutapon on this Kai'Sa.
Yeah, only one last.
Leona 打ったの?
Likai does at least get away, but Evi coming up big in that team fight once more with the Lilia ulti, even with Hop going down in what was basically a
QSS できてる。いいね。
コンサ。With Hop going down so early, but back around Baron we go. Vision is going to spot them. Beyond Gaming can't really face check, but might not have very many other good options either.
That is unfortunately the case for them right now. And as DFM, you just start this up. You just say, we're waiting for you with open arms. And I mean, there's not much beyond.
Yeah.
Right? You walk forward, you most likely die. The same problem is that you give them Baron, you most likely lose the game at the same time. And it's all going to come down to one miracle fight. DFM, while it has been a little sloppy, looking to put a finish to this one now.
Yeah, end of the game, definitely not as clean as Detonation Focus Me would have liked, but all else it ends with the enemy nexus exploding. ZFM see if
プッシュ点他のレーン学びある学びありそうだね学びありそうだよね展開しようそうだね
Yaharong making his way into
学びありそうだね
keeping that pressure active as well with super minions pushing in from the bot side. I think that's really what they need, but they've decided to slow it down for now.
Yeah, Evi grabs a stopwatch. Pretty good little tool there for what should be the last fight of the game.
3レーン押しましょう。あ、カイサがいったね。いいね。
Even Utapon has that extra QSS, right? So it's like, am I forced to burn the cleanse? Great, I have another one coming up. So he should really never be touched unless everyone just gets access to the backline, which will be very difficult with the amount of havoc that Ebi has been able to deal on towards them in the front lines.
Utapon trying to sync up waves, it looks like here with Evi. So they are going to get 2 lanes pushing. Still a minute 30 left on Baron, so plenty of waves to play with.
Slowly but surely. Quiet before the storm. They're just chipping away from the turrets. They have cannon minions coming through. They have the possibility to roam in. They have a bot lane that's shoving in with super minions. Patience is the name of the game here. Make one mistake. That's what Beyond's looking for to capitalize on.
You see Yaharon kind of behind the control wall between the 2 lanes. Can ulti in to a play pretty easily. If Beyond Gaming want to go for something, Evi of course very fast naturally on the Lilia. So Minji going to be forced to move over for the wave. That's going to move Detonation Focus Me.
ウェーブが合ってないね。まあでもキャノンミニオンがいるから大丈夫大丈夫。
Minions are also starting to hit down bots. So definitely a much better split here with this Baron buff.
Yep, it's like they were allowed to learn from their mistakes and they're not allowed to do.
いい感じいい感じ。あ、いい削りいい削り。
They're continuing with it. Beyond stepping up, but they're feeling the Infernal Drake damage.
That's a really nice killer, but Detonation Focus Me maybe could have got something there, but decided not to overcommit, which I can commend. Given the situation, we are getting kind of late and the pressure is mounting. Evi does finally break through mid.
いやー、今回はだいぶ落ち着いたね。さっきと全然違うじゃないですか。さっきのボット指示は一体何だったんですか？お、ウルト。いいね、前から。いや、マジタレット強え。カイサー？QSS あるよね。押し忘れたね、今。押し忘れた。どうだこれ。ナイス。わあ。これはいったね。これはいった。ナイス。ああ、怖えこの試合。この試合マジで怖い。
It was clean in the mid game for DFM. The way they approached the entire map with lanes pushing in, getting objectives, picking up that Baron, that was the tough part. Closing the game, that was the tough part for them.
Here's some heavy crowd. You love to hear it from the locals watching in Mexico City here. A crowd favorite, a international powerhouse.